Welcome to the Texans Zone 3, man, podcast show, episode 135, man. Help is on the way. And I'm your co-host, PAT, man. Without further ado, man, introduce you guys to some amazing people. Coming out the gate first, man, the one and only, man. Dr. Larry Payton, man, a.k.a. I'm tired of the Patriot scheme, a.k.a. I'm tired of Nick Casario, the PIGL. And, as hope it's safe to say this, but it's a kill on the loose, man. It's a kill on the loose right now. My brother, man, Killer Cal.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Yes, indeed, man. How y'all brothers feeling this on this beautiful Saturday afternoon or evening, rather?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Yes,
Everything's gravy.
Oh yeah, man. How was y'all brothers' weeks, man?
Yeah, just work and sleep for me, bro. I ain't have a chance to really like I said, I really wasn't gonna start doing mock drafts and studying until after the combine because, all it takes for somebody to run a 4.3 and 4.4 and he went from the from the fourth to the first. So I'm a dive in on that a little bit later, throughout the week. But other than that, man, just been chilling, bro.
Yeah, appreciate y'all having me on again, man. Before I really jump into it, we want peace in the world, man. We in some more conflict across the world, man.
No
And I
bullshit.
just want everybody to be able to get home safely. Hopefully everyone this conflict in the Middle East will be over shortly and you know pray for our troops, pray for everybody at home. But the main thing is we got enough problems at home without having to go across the world to start a mess.
Agreed.
This is true. Before we get into this good old dialogue of Texan talk, man, quick shout out to our brother Nitty. Uh, Not gonna get too much into it personal wise, but he's dealing with some issues that family issues. He's attending to some family issues, so keep that brother in y'all prayers, man. But as we continue to deliver y'all this wonderful content, man, that everybody loves so much from us. So first things first, man. One thing we ain't touched on yet. A lot of other outlets have kind of gave their 2 cents on, but this Houston, not Houston, is it Houston or the Toro Texan District or whatever? I don't even know what they're calling it. To be honest,
Toro District,
Toro District.
new headquarters for the Houston Texans.
Oh man, Toro District. How do you guys feel about this Toro District?
Man, I'll jump in there first. Man, throughout the years in different cities, um, they're moving from the city to the suburbs. That's pretty much stadiums, arenas, just everything. They're moving, outside the loop,
Yeah,
from inside the loop. That's where a lot of your tax dollars, your middle and upper middle class is really at. Um, they tried to rebuild the inside of the loop back when we had 3 stadiums built in. Man, it was a short period of time when Reliant. It was Reliant. It was what it
Toyota.
was, but it wasn't called the Toyota Center, was it? It was something else.
No, it started off as Toyota.
Okay, Toyota Center, and then uh Drake McLean. That was uh Minute Maid, right? Was it something before Minute Maid? Was it Enron?
Enron
you
Field.
know,
Yeah, Enron. So they tried to revitalize that inside the loop thing, but I don't think that by us not having a true uh, downtown destination for visitors and making Houston a destination spot and not having casinos and the amount of hotels that that needs to accommodate when we have big big events coming through. I was talking to this one guy, and he was saying how when the Super Bowl, it wasn't even the first Super Bowl, it was the last Super Bowl that came here, that we were still unprepared in a lot of ways, that
Mm-hmm.
uh, they actually ran out of liquor. And it was like they wasn't prepared for the amount of people, the amount of stores, the amount of money that was coming into the city. And so, and of course, like hotels were 15, 20 minutes away from the Georgia Brown, just with the NFL uh, weekly, when they come in that Monday or that Tuesday, and it's the NFL experience. It's hard to have a hotel by Bush Airport and then have to travel from Bush to, Georgia Brown every single day. So with that being said, that Toro District is going to try to centralize a lot of things, and you could kind of look at how Jerry Jones moved that complex to is it Arlington? I think Arlington,
Yeah.
Frisco.
and made it just a complete destination in the complex. The only thing that's missing in Texas, and I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I don't know when. It's going to be pretty soon. But when those casinos, when casino gambling becomes 100% legal in this state, then we're not going to have to worry about what's going to happen with NRG and what's going to happen with the Astrodome. That land is going to be well taken care of. But that Toro district, it's going to be, I think it's going to be successful, man. Traffic is going to always be a problem, but I think it's going to be successful.
Well, let me weigh in a little bit. The Cowboys thing you were talking about is in Frisco. They built Frisco, but called the Star, where the Cowboys moved their headquarters from Las Colinas. And this is a similar move the Texans are doing. How many years the Texans have been in existence? Like 25 years.
25, 26.
And quite frankly, they have been living rent free. It's been a sweetheart deal for them. The county owns the stadium, and the Texans headquarters have been housed inside of the stadium. I believe the Texans did have to come out of the pocket for the bubble, but that's about it. The rest of it is owned and operated by a company that the county controls. So the Texans' offices, I believe, are leased. So,
Yeah.
like Cal was saying, this gives them a headquarter where they can have control over their offices. They're not being kicked out for the rodeo or any other event. But it is about about dollars and cents. Harris County um, probably gave them a big sweetheart deal on tax breaks about building out there and the amount of jobs that they could bring to the development. I'm gonna call it bridge land. Some people call it bridgeland, but I call it bridge land. There's supposed to be 10,000 homes in Bridgeland, and this complex is only going to make their property value go up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and depending on what happens with the stadium in a decade or so, they will have a headquarters that they can call from home for the next 50 years or so.
So it's in Cyprus.
Yeah, 99 in the Beltway. I mean, 99 and 290.
Yeah. So from my house, from where I am to there to this district is 42 minutes. For those that don't know, going in that direction, the freeway or the highway gets more narrow. So in the event there is a stadium, because I believe there will be a stadium built out that direction, you can't build a stadium first without widening the highways. That's first and foremost. Traffic is going to be traffic, but if they came out with the headline, that this is Toro District, but this is also where our new quote unquote permanent headquarters, meaning stadium, will be, they would have to widen the freeway. to accommodate the traffic going in that direction. Now, another thing, most players when they come here, these guys live in Mo City, uh, downtown Medical Center, or Pearland, Manville, or Sharon, going out in that direction. That's a trip every day, at least an hour there, hour back, and that's just for the players and the staff. And they're gonna be there before we do, fans, media, things of that nature. So it's a lot to think about. Um,
Well, they're giving them 4 years to make they relocation plan. They
man,
I was
won't be
about to,
ready
I was about to
until
say that.
29. Be
Yeah,
all new players by then.
better
man,
start looking for some land and put your house on the market.
Right. Will
that's good.
Anderson and CJ, if he can get himself right, will be the only players left.
Nah, man, Stingley, Petrie, they'll be here. Bullet.
No, Petrie ain't gonna be here in 5 years. These rosters turn over quick, so they're not really worried about the players. The players will go whatever's convenient for them. And the
True.
fans, quite honestly, Pat, they know that we've been without football before, so they can build that stadium in Timbuktu. We gonna show up.
As a ticket holder at that time, I may just say the hell with it. But I know they've told us that in the event stadium is built, we would ones that already have their tickets, we pretty much grandfathered in. So I don't know, but I cross that bridge when I get to it, man.
Yeah,
But it's supposed to be creating 17,000, 16, 17,000, 17,000 new jobs. Um, the practice facility, the practice field is going to be way bigger than the hours we have now. Our bubble isn't even a whole field; it's a half a field. So when the guys did have to go on the inside to get some work in due to inclement weather, they can only do so much. So it's going to be
yeah,
interesting to see it
yeah.
all
And
come together.
remember, the Texans as an organization is worth they're like in the top 10, top 15 of all sports franchises net worth. So they got plenty of money and they hadn't been had to spend it on anything like this.
Hmm.
So I mean, not that the family is doing this without any skin in the game, but this is a big investment, reinvestment into their franchise that will take them into probably um, their next generation of ownership.
Oh yeah.
Cal and Hannah's kids or Cal's kids will probably be running it when it's time to move again.
Well, put it like this: it's over there by Highway 99, correct?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I live off of 99, but I'm in Richmond. And to Patton's point, it still would take me 45 minutes to get there, and I'm on 99.
See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I think what they looked into consideration is just Cyprus in itself. That population, if it was quote unquote a actual city, it would be number 8 in Texas. Arlington has 408. Cyprus has close to 400,000. So to all that money that's out there that wasn't coming to NRG, it's gonna be a lot of people for all the cancellations that's gonna happen. It's gonna be some new money out there. So I think that's one of the things I think it was either going that way or going toward Pearland because it's a lot of land going down. What is that? 288, like
Yeah.
going
288.
toward Lake Jackson and Iowa
Sure.
County and all of that. So it was either one of the two.
288 on the straight plate.
Yeah, it makes sense to go to the Cypress because going into the 288 direction, that's majority, if not all of it, is still under the development for new homes. Uh, I go there, I frequent there a lot. My house is being built over there, so it wouldn't be nowhere to be. There's nowhere for a stadium to fit. And then on top of that, it makes no sense because your ex girlfriend right down the street, you know. So going to Cypress,
No,
it just
a large part of 288 is 2 and 3 lanes.
It's big enough. It's
No,
big. It's
that would be a disaster, bro. I'm telling you, when I was working in Corpus Christi and coming home from work at 5 something in the morning, and those lanes they swell up, and it's just a regular day. I mean, if we're talking about an event in football, they would have definitely had to, and I don't think they would have had enough time to make 288 going. Wait, that's when you pass, going toward Pearland, a little bit outside of Pearland, going toward Iowa County, going toward Lake Jackson. It reduces down to damn near like 2 lanes and just 1 lane to exit and to U-turn. So
Mhm.
that would have been crazy in itself. But nevertheless, they went where the money is, and Cypress is a whole city in itself. Over close to 400,000 people in population and steady growing. I can see it working.
Well,
Sweet blood.
Cal, I'm gonna push back on that. The Greater Houston has money in every direction. Uh, this county is well documented to have over 100,000 millionaires reported on their income tax. So there's money all over over the Greater Houston area, especially Harris County. So they could have gone in many directions. I think it's here because of the land, the quantity of land northwest, the availability, and the developers out there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just think it's a larger portion of expendable income in a concentrated area over there.
Disposable income. I get you
Yeah,
because of the entertainment district over there. They will be able to be there more than just on game day.
yeah.
I follow you.
All right, doctor. I don't mean to give you a heart attack out the gate, but Gerard Johnson, I see him this morning, man, at the DPS office, and it was closed. He was trying to get in. I just happened to be driving by, and I seen the guy. I say, "Hey, man, what you doing over here, man?" He said, "Yeah, man. D'Angelo Ross told me to come over here, man, help me get a CDL." I said, "Damn, for real?" I said, "Why you getting a CDL, man? Like, ain't you coaching CJ?" He said, "Nah, man, they let me go, you know." So we got a new QB coach, Jerry Sapinski.
Yeah, Shaplinsky.
Shakumpsy. It's a funny ass last name. I tell you that much. I don't know where he's from. Well, not where he's originally originated from, wise. But I had a piece, man, on Twitter. Ryan Fitzpatrick, man, one of the best backup quarterbacks ever to be a backup quarterback. He spoke about the importance of him and how he helped him, in his career when he had him. Um, he pointed out that Jerry teaches, he tries to understand the player and he coaches everybody differently. Once he figures you out, and he's not going to treat you and treat the other guy the same. I may be able to take hard coaching. You may not be able to take hard coaching. I may want the hard coaching. You may not want the hard coaching. So once he identifies the player, he addresses them and handles them that way, and he coaches them accordingly. But he tries to maximize that person as a player and then as a person trait. What are your? And he has some Patriot background, so I hope he ain't picked up the grandma yet. But what are you guys' feelings or thoughts on this sudden change?
Man, I don't have a problem with it. After the game, the fan base was looking for red meat,
Of course.
and they didn't give a damn who it was. It could have been the cafeteria lady. They just wanted somebody fired. Um, and I get it. But you just have to you have to think, like, I ask people, what is the responsibility of a quarterback coach? Because I mean, that quarterback coach could be responsible for that display, that ineptitude that we saw, CJ put on. And let me say this. While CJ gets criticism for his turnovers, a major, 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 major part of, and it took me a while to think about it, but two people hold greater responsibility and did worse that day than CJ Stroud. And that's Nick Caley, number 2, and D'Amico Ryans, number 1.
Mm.
Why in the hell you on the road in inclement weather in a playoff game and you allow this guy to throw 47 times? Why? As a head coach, you the CEO, you gave Matt Burke doing a great job doing what he does. Why are you sitting back and letting CJ just damn near, as he said, death by 1,000 cuts?
Mm-hmm.
He got the razor blade in his hand. He cut himself one time and y'all saw blood.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all just sit there and watch and watch and watch and try to make it to where the passing game was supposed to work. When Woody Marks was not really showing a lot, but Nick Chubb had a little showing. And they took him out, and I think he was never to be seen until like the 4th quarter or something like that. So as bad as CJ was, the coaching was worse when you look back at it. Because there's no way on the road in a playoff game in that type of weather that you should have allowed your quarterback to be in position to not only throw 4 interceptions in the first half, but to continue to throw the ball afterwards. That's inexcusable. So they really left CJ out there, and I hope that this is all behind him and he can just move on forward. But that was just a bad display for what our coaching staff has shown.
Yeah, I don't think it's that consequential. I think it was good for CJ to have somebody he was familiar with, like Gerard Johnson. I think that many objective fans, like all of us, think that Case Keenum was a big help in his rookie year, being a third stringer and being there to help CJ when he needed to. I think that um, is probably more helpful than Gerard. Some people in the fan base thinks CJ is unintelligent. I don't agree with that. CJ is very smart, especially football wise. He has had some good football people around him in his career. Um, Shaplinsky is not going to move the needle any. And um, from as far as a Patriot angle, just bring in all Patriots so I can really let them have it about this offense. The offense as a scheme is bad without Tom Brady. So I don't care if Charlie Weiss or Josh McDaniels came over here, we still gonna have problems.
So let me say this. I feel like the organization as a whole was hoping that Gerard would get a job and take a job elsewhere, so it wouldn't come to this. It was told that they agreed to part mutually to so they agreed to part ways mutually. So I don't believe that. Also,
From what I hear was they allowed him to go interview, and after he interviewed, they wanted him to take a demotion,
yeah,
and he didn't want to take a demotion. So
yeah,
that mutual parting ways was he said, "No, I'm not doing it." And Texas said, "Well, take it or leave it." And shit, he called in him and he left it.
respectfully so. I mean, who knows? That demotion could have been pay cut, or he probably could have kept the same pay, but this would have been an assistant. Like, we don't know, what the inner workings were or could have been. But
What I do know is that's on my resume that I got demoted because Maybe I'm on the sideline. Maybe my voice would see. Here's the thing. That offensive room is all inclusive. So we think. So Kaylee said, I welcome all voices. That's what they said. We want CJ's input. Well, CJ's input comes with Gerard input. We don't know what Gerard was saying on the sideline at the time. Like, hey, man, I mean, just speculation. What if Gerard was like, hey, we need to, he needs to stop throwing the ball because right now I'm not seeing it. And they kept doing it. And so now my recommendation with it was ignored. And then when it's all over with, you want me to be the fall guy. You want me to put that on my resume. And my career haven't really gotten started yet.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we don't have any say so in these things, only opinions. So I'm only hoping for the best. I just know this is a very crucial year, not only for CJ but the franchise as a whole. Like this offseason, all roads have led here. So I'm praying and hoping this new QB coach can help CJ get back to where we fell in love with the guy in his rookie season. And I hate to say that he's chasing his rookie season. Like not many players come into the league have that first year where they set the league on fire, then they can't recapture that flame for the rest of their career. So I'm hoping he can turn the tide. But if he's going to, this is the year. And
that's gonna be the most disingenuous thing I ever heard in my life. Because if CJ comes out and throw for 4,800 yards and 40 touchdowns, tell me shit about no damn quarterback coach. That means that offensive scheme changed. It went more to the Rams. Like there's nothing that CJ did mechanically last year that I can say, hey, his mechanics was just flawed. Quarterback coach, look at your mechanics. He's not coaching you to make whatever reads. That's the quarterback. That's the offensive coordinator. That's your whole offensive team. When y'all sitting there collectively saying, this was your read, this is your throw, this is what you should have done. So if he have a good year, that means Kaylee improves the offensive scheme, the weapons. They spent money on offense, and everything improved. But the beneficiary is going to be the quarterback coach because he's going to benefit off of it.
right.
So if he has a great year, I don't want to hear nothing about no damn quarterback coach. That means Kaylee started calling some good shit.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big. I think the OC is um the bigger priority in the offense. He
Right.
needs to be the one that's keeping the flow of the game going. He needs to be the one that's calling the plays accurate. He needs to be the one that is working with the quarterback to identify plays that they both like for the week in the game plan. I believe that there is growth needed out of both of them. They were not helped with the O line. They were not helped with the running back room. They're not helped with Nico not playing in the Patriots game. So I think there's a lot of challenges that they face this year that hopefully won't be the same in the future.
Yeah. The unsurety of you have two rookies on your team and you don't know how to insert them. We saw, like I said, once again, Higgins, at the end of the year start to come on. But, early in the year, I felt like when Kirk was hurt, I think that Higgins should have been thrown in the fire. Noel should have been thrown in the fire early. But that's what a coordinator's supposed to do. He's supposed to look at your weapons, the weapons that he have at his disposal, and how he can use them in a mismatch against the defense.
Yeah, yeah, he was.
Space Age says, why can't CJ check off the line of scrimmage?
Well, as Gary Kubiak and Matt Shaw, sometimes these offensive coordinators, they just like They don't want to hear, especially from a young quarterback. Young quarterbacks normally don't really get that much leeway. Um, Sean McVay, you was talking about Sean McVay and Jared Goff. Jared Goff wasn't audibling and calling plays and doing stuff like that. But Matt Stafford been in the league when he got to the Rams. I think Matt he was going into his 13th year.
Yeah.
So very seasoned. So it's like, CJ, you have a script and you're reading the script. This is the movie script, read it. But seasoned actors like Denzel and Snipes and Samuel, they can start ad-libbing. And that's what experience come in, because even your leaders or the people that's in command, they kind of trust your leadership and your judgment. And I think that's what makes CJ frustrated, because I think it's things on the field that he sees, but he's coached not to make those plays, because if it's unsuccessful, when they go back to the film room, OC is going to say that is not what I called.
Yeah.
Why did you do this? And he's going to say, well, this is what I saw. Well, this is not what I called. And if you would have ran this, it would have been open. So that's what I think. And that's what probably made Gerard kind of frustrated too, because, when the meetings are over with, CJ is probably watching film with Gerard more than any other staff member that's there. So he's probably sitting back looking like, hey, man, I can do this, I can do that, whatever. But they haven't entrusted in him to, take that leadership role. So,
Yeah, and Shaplinsky was in the room last year too, so he was the offensive assistant. I'm sure he was right there with Gerard. Gerard probably was leading the room, but Shaplinsky is there telling them schematically how it's supposed to be in this Patriots offense. Um, Another point is our fan base always points to Davis Mills being in more command of the offense when he came in, and also how quickly he was able to adjust in training camp. I think people forget that Davis Mills' rookie year was under this offense with Tim Kelly. That's
Mhm.
exactly the offense that he came into the league with.
mm.
And so he had a lot of, at least a full season running that offense with veterans like Brandon Cooks, who had been in that offense.
For what it's worth,
Mm. Great
not
point.
saying not saying he's the better player, but I mean he's more of a veteran than CJ just by default. He's been in the league longer. So I mean, it's always an uptick anytime Mills comes in. He's played before. He's been in the league longer. He's been in multiple systems since he's been here, and he should when his numbers called upon, he should go out there and do decent. You know, like he did this year. He won some games. So um, also with Jerry being a QB coach, I'm looking at it like this. When we had Strausser as the O line coach, Pop was in the room, but not Strausser. There was too many voices, so to speak. You get rid of Thompson, get rid of Strausser. You have Pop. It's one guy leading the room, and there's the one main voice. So, granted, this is the quarterback room. It's only 2 to 3 guys at a time in there, preferably 3 guys.
Yeah, and that's your
So,
most important room.
yeah. So I'm just being optimistic to say that maybe with a different voice in the room, changes could be
Hey,
made.
that different voice? Hey, Larry. Hey,
Yeah.
Larry, that different voice in the room? You know what college he went to, right?
Yeah, John Carroll.
So maybe his voice may kind of ring a little bit louder. Maybe.
Somebody said in the comments earlier the John Carroll Texans.
Yeah, I think one thing that we need to give credit to is that this offense, since D'Amico really has been here, has been more of a Casario offense than anything.
Well,
Casario hired most of the coaches since offensively. The receiver coach, the tight end coach, the running back coach. Well, not the running back coach. Danny Barrett was already here through
yeah,
Bill O'Brien. Uh, at least 3 or 4 of the coaches were hired by Casario before D'Amico even got here offensively, and so Casario's handprints all over the coaching staff. Still,
Naturally, so I mean,
no, the general manager should not be picking coaches.
hear
His
me out.
ass should be finding out how he can acquire good offensive linemen, evaluate talent,
Okay, so
budget, run
hear me,
his sub
hear me,
departments.
hear me out. Hear me out with this. D'Amico is a straight defensive coach, defensive guru. Now, as a coach in general, period, right? You should be able to coach both sides or all phases of the game, special teams, offense, and defense. As we know, D'Amico is the defensive guy. I'm not looking at D'Amico to, which he has been more involved in the offensive side this year than he's ever been, in my personal opinion, which probably because he really had to with Nick Caley being a rookie
I
in that
agree.
role, first time play caller. Um, D'Amico has done such a great job on the defense that he's been able to turn over the call or give the keys, should I say, to Matt Burke. Let him just call it to where he can just focus on. He's helping Kay like, hey, let's run the ball here. Let's do this. Let's do that. And as you know, D'Amico wants to run the football. Most defensive head coaches smash mouth defense and run the ball. You don't have the running game to just say, let's just run the ball. But guess what? We're going to run the ball anyway. And as you seen last year, where I think Cal brought it up last show, where it was one game, Woody had 13, 14 carries for like 3 fucking yards. It's like unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? But to transition to the next phase, the next topic, you want to run the ball, man. You got to get that offensive line like solidified. Once you get that solidified, add you a real running back, Mike Washington Jr. And then maybe you can add some more toys to the tight end room and pray and hope that we get more Rams-esque offense versus New England's offense.
Run that again.
What part?
The Rams part.
If you upgrade your offensive line, add a real running back, Mike Washington Jr., maybe add you a toy to the tight end room, then you can run a decent offense, not the Patriots offense, but Rams-esque.
All right, I like that.
So, but once again, none of these things matter until the first brick falls or the first brick is laid, and that's with the offensive line. Until you get that fixed, it don't matter what the hell. It don't matter what offense you call it, in my opinion.
Got a question straight off the dome. What offensive line was better? Was it last year's line or the year before? Was it this year line or the year with Tunsil? What offensive line was better?
Shit, D'Amico's first year offensive line when they played
No,
musical chairs.
not that. I'm going by the last season, the season that we just played, and then the season where Tunsil was there. What was the better line?
I would say this year, gonna give 23 sacks.
Okay. This is my pushback on, like, I agree with upgrading the line and upgrading the running back, but I think a lot more, and this is just through my experience of just watching and coaching ball. I think that your line could look a whole lot better with a competent running back, because we was looking at what Joe Mixon did with a line that you just said wasn't even as good as this line. So just think if Joe Mixon, a competent running back, was running with this line that we had. So I think a lot of times when we see a stat and say the running back was, our running game was this, our running game was that, but like you just pointed out, he was only sacked 23 times. He wasn't pressured
The
a hell of a
team,
lot. Huh?
not him. The team. It was him and between him and
Well, I
Mills.
mean, just say collectively what the line gave up sack wise, which is a
Mhm.
pretty respectable number. So if that number is that respectable, but you're running was at Bob. Like I think the Raiders. Well, it was only one other team that was worse than you running the ball. That lets you know that it's more of the running back than it is the actual line. I'm not saying don't upgrade the line, but I just think a lot of people get this thing of, hey, we need to like draft like 3 linemen and we need to get 2 of them in the offseason. And I think a running back fix a lot of that shit real quick. It fixes it real quick because I think that if in my perfect world, and I hope it happens because I just want to be right. If Nick Casario draft Price and MJW, is it MJ Michael? No, M Michael Washington Jr. If he drafts both of them, that running back room is set. Just like I feel like that wide receiver room will be set, is set for a couple of years, just like the secondary is set for a couple of years. And I think that you can like really concentrate on other facets of the offense or defense, like defensive tackle or tight end or maybe backup safety. But I really want 2 more running backs in that room because nobody in our running back room right now, a defensive coordinator, there would never be a game that if we came like last year, I don't think it's a defensive coordinator that said, "Hey man, let's pull up this film on Woody Marks and let's come up with a game plan to stop him." No, the game plan would just play basic defense and just stop him, and you can because Nick Kelly wasn't putting him in advantageous positions to even throw it to him out of the backfield on screens and outs and using him as a receiver. So you didn't have to plan for him. So I think that a better running back will make this line look a whole lot better. I do want to address the interior side of the line, but I think running back is like about as important as getting more linemen.
That's a pretty good case for improving the offense, Cal. I think that the running back, the position wasn't as reliable as it had been under Joe Mixon. We took a big leap as we got Mixon in the fold. He was a big upgrade from Singletary and Damian Pierce. In fact, he almost single-handedly won the season opener against Indianapolis. Joe Mixon did, and he played I think 6 or 7 games where he rushed for over 100 yards that year. So that was sorely missed.
Yeah.
The other side of that is, can you afford to allocate those many resources at running back when you know that you have 2 glaring holes on your offensive line at center, at one of the guard positions, depending on where Titus plays? There could even be 3 holes on your offensive line, depending on where Titus plays.
I know a lot of people been throwing around Lindenbaum name, and let's just say if you pull out more than like, well, I ain't gonna say more than likely, but probably end up with the Giants with his former coach. But let's just say you pull that off, and his pass protection win rate, I think, was like number 2 or number 3. It was probably number 1. And Andrews was last in the league. So if you upgrade that position at center and you were able to get one of these guards that I think and I don't have have them pulled up in front of me right now, but the guard that everybody is really high on is hold on one second.
Pregnon from Oregon, or Proctor from Alabama.
I think
Or
Proctor's going to be a tackle coming into the league. But you
with
got Basantis and you got Rutledge, and those are the 2 that I'm really thinking of. And also, Pregnon and Basantis, yeah. So when you have those, if you Lindenbaum and you get one of those guards right there, And of course, you don't just ignore them for the rest of the draft. But I think you've addressed a glaring need on your offensive line, and I think running back would just make that line just a whole lot better. But you didn't ignore it completely. So
Yeah, I'm at the point. I agree with you, Cal. I'm saying that we need to spend. We got four top 100 picks, and we need three of those to be on those positions that you mentioned. We need a running back. We need a weapon. We need a premier offensive lineman that's going to be inserted day one as a starter.
hold on, let me read this. Linda is a no-brainer, but the GM has a family dollar mentality in free agency. I totally disagree with that. Nick Cayley have spent. Nick Cayley, Casario spent money in free agency. Like every year he has. Like he didn't. Like when we needed linemen, he brought in 4 linemen last year
He
in free
tries.
agency. Before then, like he brought in a shitload of people. Nick Casario is not going to go out there and get the flaming hot name that everybody is screaming about on day one. Like we had a free agent signing. Was he free agent or trade? But we had a free agent signing that was days and days and days down the line, and now he's like one of the pillars of the team, and that's the guy from Minnesota.
Ed Ingram.
No, he
No, no,
was a
no,
trade.
not Ingram. I'm talking about
Talking about Daniil Hunter.
Daniil Hunter. I mean, I don't think like Nick Casario is like cheap on spending money. Like I don't see that. Like every year he really goes out and try to make something happen. He just don't do it on the first day. And I think that frustrates a lot of fans because you have ESPN and all the talking heads saying, hey, these are the top 5. And then you see teams jump in right before midnight or at 10 o'clock and you hear all these reports. And it's like, man, what are we doing? We're just sitting on our hands. And then at the end of free agency, you look at the money that Nick has spent, it's like, oh, I get it. He's filling holes so he don't have a glaring need when he goes into the draft.
And that's it, Cal. Nick Casario's approach is quantity over quality. Space Age may be saying that we're not going after the big fish, which I agree. I
Mm.
want uh, a top free agent to feel secure that we have upgraded that position. But Casario usually goes the route of bringing in 4 or 5 options um, in all the different various ways through the draft, through free agency, through trade, and through street guys. But
Mm.
this is a year where we are so close to really contending.
Right.
Um, and let me be honest with you. I know that the fandom got us all at the end of last season, but the fact of the matter is that our offense was inconsistent at best last year. It was never a dependable running game. Nico was injured going into New England. Schultz got hurt in the first quarter. Um, and we still were in a one-score game despite 5 turnovers. So the defense was just that impressive. But offensively, we were not really we did not deserve to advance in the playoffs, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Unfortunately. Uh, I want to piggyback off what you were saying earlier, far as mixing. Um, and Brees Hall does this too. The offensive line wasn't that good. Every play, every running play we had with Mixon, he was always having to cut back. If you watch any of the Jets games or just any of their highlights when you're watching Brees Hall, every play when they're running the ball, he has to cut back majority of the time. Now,
Yeah.
Was having a cutback 95% of the time with that offensive line. It's not that those guys were good or this that bad. The type of player Mixon is, if you sorry, i.e. King and Green, Mixon's gonna make you feel like you better than what you really are. He's that type of guy. He's going to motivate you, pump you up, try to get you going. He's that emotional. Well, as I would call, he's the Ray Lewis voice on offense. And
Agreed.
losing him, you lose that. Um, I know me and Cal don't agree on it, but I wouldn't mind kicking the tires on Walker. Even if we bring in a guy like Walker,
Kenneth Walker.
yeah, Kenneth Walker.
Oh, you
Uh,
don't need to kick the tires. He a prime free agent. If you can
but
get him, get him.
yeah, but the thing is, he is not going to give you what Mixon gives you. Kenneth Walker is just as quiet as Derek Stingley. At least Stingley look at you like, give you some they look at you like you crazy. Walker gonna kind of, go score a touchdown and he not even gonna celebrate. He
Yeah,
probably trying to
but
get some water or hide behind somebody. Like I want a guy like that on my offense. This offense needs a guy like that. Nico is not that guy. CJ, Lord knows, is not that guy. If we bring in an offensive lineman, we need somebody that's going, hey, let's, get under everybody's skin. We need a raw guy.
well, that is an intangible that
You can't
you
coach
will.
that.
The intangibles are missing, but we're also missing the tangible. We need a legitimate number one running back that can get you 1,200 to 1,500 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Do you still have those games? I got them recorded. No, I don't. I think they got erased. I'm gonna give you some pushback. Uh, there was a lot of games that Mixon played in that the hole was there and he had no confidence and he was bouncing it to the outside when he didn't need to.
He always does that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And,
Yeah,
and but no, with that being said, that the blocking was there a lot of the times. But early in the season, he was hitting the hole. And then like midway through the season, like I think game 5 and on, he started like, and I'm gonna tell you what another thing that frustrated Mixon was he's a team guy and he's gonna run the play. But when that play was called and he didn't agree with it, he immediately got up and was pissed and was looking at
blow it.
Slowick like, why are we running this damn play? That was a lot of his frustration also. Like you're
Mhm.
trying to push something, like they got 8 in the box. If they're not showing 8 in the box, they have a safety that I know that it's going to come down and play against the run, and you not competent enough to even see that. And that was his frustration. But that line was like, look, let me tell you something. If Mixon did get hurt, his career high was, I think it was 1249. Mixon was on his way to mid 14, like 1450 that year with the Texans, close to the 1500 and double digit touchdowns.
Yeah, I think we
So
all agree with that.
yeah, I just think running back will make your line look a whole lot better, because if you have running, man, all our running backs was 4.6 and slower. Like that scares no defensive coordinator at all.
Yeah, no
I look
lies told.
I look for Nick Casario, man, to go out here 10 for 10 in the free agency and the draft, man. He about to go out there and drop 30 on these fools, man. Tell you, about to have a vintage.
This is six. This is year number 6, right?
That's correct.
Man, let me tell you something. In the NFL, there are not too many general managers that can say that they had 6 years to draft and they only had 3 playoff victories to show for it. A lot of times, man, that 4th year, if you don't get past that 4th round, like they making changes somewhere. And I think Nick Casario, I don't think he has the luxury to be comfortable in his picks. I think he has to be aggressive with those 2 extra picks. People are thinking that those 2 extra picks that we have in the 2nd and the 3rd are going to be players. I think if it's somebody on the board that's going to make an immediate impact in his eye, I think he's going to package up some stuff and move up and get that player that he wants, or 2.
What extra pick we got in the third?
The Giants.
Mm-hmm.
No, we only got four in the top 100.
We got Washington second. I think we got the Giants.
We traded another third last year to get uh, Woody. So there should be
We
double
got
check that. I only have us with four picks in the first, second, and third.
yeah,
And
we got
we
our
got two.
first,
We got two
two
seconds.
seconds, and we got the Giants third. The Giants
Okay.
third is gonna be high.
Yeah. So
It's a high
that's
third round pick.
so we don't have an extra third. We got a third that's a higher level than
Yeah,
our
what a high
regular
third.
third would be, because
Yeah.
we traded away that third to trade up to get Woody Marks in the fourth round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got an extra fourth round pick then. Okay.
Okay, now that makes more sense.
Either way, I'm willing to bet that Nick Casario is gonna go out here. I say he's gonna drop 30. Fuck it, now he's going for 50. He finna have a vintage Kobe game. This off
He's
this
gonna be
off.
aggressive, man. I think he's gonna be aggressive. I don't think he's gonna and his aggressiveness might piss somebody off because he might not draft in the first round. Or if there's one or two players that's there, that's like, hey, I don't know, like if Price coming off the board or did Jeremiah Love fall? Like it can be any of those things, man. And I think it's gonna be a player, it's gonna be an impact player that's definitely gonna start. But I don't think he's gonna sit back and just let the draft, fall to him.
Well, speaking of that, he's gonna have to get busy in free agency. So to the points you've been making in all the shows, Cal, he is known for filling his needs in the free agency period, and then going into the draft where he doesn't have to draft for need.
Yeah.
So that means get the center, get Lindenbaum, or even I've been doing the group chat has been giving me a lot of feedback on Cade Mays, so I watched a little bit of his film. He is better than what we have, so bring him on.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's slightly better than
he definitely
Andrews.
better than Andrews, and
I only give
um,
Andrews some slack because he played hurt most of the year. But other than that, you have to upgrade that position. It just you don't run it back with him as your end all be all starter. You have to do anything and everything you can in your power to upgrade that one particular position.
exactly,
So
and get your running back in free agency as well. So there's lots of guys available. He get those two done in free agency period, plus a linebacker, a special teamer, which he does every year. Then I'll be um, more secure about what he's going to do in the draft.
Yeah.
all right, we
All right.
already approaching the hour. Just real quick before we get up out of here. Uh, everybody's been crushing or gushing out whatever word you feel comfortable using. But Brandon just brought him up. The tight end from Oregon, Sadiq. He had a very, very phenomenal combine. Uh, every year, when players go to the combine, they earn themselves money. It's a money type of year. Well, money's a money earning type of time. Let me say that. Sadiq has already had a great season, but this combine he's having or had, he just earned himself top dollar. In a perfect world, if we were somehow to acquire Sadiq, I'm pretty sure it would require having to trade up because I highly doubt he's there at 28 when we pick. But if we were to add him, how do you all feel with what we have? And I'm saying adding him with knowing that we've already secured the offensive line in free agency. Let's say we signed in the ball, maybe kept Ingram, but the offensive line questions have been solidified in free agency. Your first round pick in the draft, whether you trade up or he falls to you, how do you feel about Sadiq and what does he add to this offense?
If he falls to me, yeah, cool. Um, but I've been hearing a lot of buzz on Eli Stowers.
Star Wars.
I've been hearing a lot of buzz on him. So um look, if Sadiq falls to me, which I highly doubt, because tight ends for the last couple of years have been, when they've been the main targets, they've been upward of, I mean, you had Laporta, you got the tight end from Arizona, I think it is. Can't think of his name.
McBride
Look, tight ends are,
Right.
catching 80, 90, 100 balls.
and Loveland went early in the
Loveland
draft
is
last year.
another one. Yes.
Tyler
So
Tyler Warren went 15.
so my thing is if he fell to you, yeah. But I think that you could I'm not moving up to get him. But I wouldn't mind having stores and having like I said, my guy from Notre Dame, Price. I would love that because I want to address the running back and tight end room. And I want to address the running back room twice this year. And I want to address the tight end room with priority once this year and next year. I want to go very high and back to back in the tight end room.
You
Um,
said next year?
yeah, I want to go back to back. I want to go address it this year and next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But if Sadiq falls to me, yeah. And when I say okay, now fall, like we picked 28. If Sadiq is up there and it looks like that two teams can get him and he falls to say 24, 25, yeah, I have to look at the talent and look at the talent that's on the board and see what it costs me. If I move up 4 spots and give up, we swap, 28 for 24 and I can give up that fourth round pick that I got from Washington. No, I'm gonna give up my fourth round pick. If we run like that, yeah, I do that. But I'm not gonna go from 28 to 14 to go get him. That's gonna cost
So
extremely too much.
so what if he's still on the board and Cleveland is picking at 24, which is 4 spots in front of you?
Well, we know Cleveland needs a tight end, and a tight end for their offense is whether it's Deshaun Shadur is going to be like their second receiver. So
But they need
uh,
they need a
if
number
if
one
if if
receiver.
he's on the board and I'm looking at who's going to be picking tight ends later, and Stores is on the board, Stowers. Shit, if I can get Stowers at 33 or 34, I'm trading back. I'm
So you
trading back. I'm not
so
gonna
you're
move up to get
saying
Stowers. I'm not gonna move up to get Sadiq. I'll trade back to get Stowers.
you're gonna give up drafting in the first round, similar method you used last year to come up with the number two tight end. Just like last year, uh, you didn't get the top wide receiver, so you traded back and got Higgins in the second round. Is that the same approach you're taking with tight end? Is what you're
Now we're
saying?
taking tight end now. If I'm moving back, if put it like this, if I'm not gonna move up to get Sadiq and he's not gonna follow me, then tight end is probably not gonna be my first pick anyway. So let me remix that again. If the defensive tackle is gone from Florida, if a lineman is there that I want, but he's not like I can get him later in the second round, it's an interior guard or something like that, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move back because then my need is gonna be taken care of in free agency. I'm just not gonna pick because okay, I can pick here.
Mhm.
Because if I can get any of the players that I need on my draft board and I can move down from 28 to 33 and pick up an additional, fourth round pick or third round pick, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, well, Patton, how much time we got? Because I want to stay on this topic about drafting and philosophy for just a minute.
Go ahead.
Because in my draft, my personal draft philosophy, which I applied to the Texans, not saying that Casario has adopted my philosophy,
No,
but
I think
I
y'all are
don't.
close.
I only draft premium players in the first round unless I'm missing one piece,
Okay.
i.e., I'm not drafting guards in the first round. I'm not drafting a safety in the first round. I'm not drafting um, a center in the first round. But where the Texans sit with their roster makeup, I believe that they can afford to gamble and draft a player of need, but he must be a starter immediately. And so that's why I'm open to drafting a guard and not my normal saying I would not draft a guard. So I wanted to put that out there. And I wouldn't normally draft a tight end, but we're in a an offense that needs weapons at every level. So any weapon that can help it, I'm willing to draft a tight end like Sadiq. Stowers, I'm okay with, but I would not draft him in the first round.
No.
But I said to Cal earlier, the only player that I'm trading up for in this draft is Love, the running back from Notre Dame. That's the only player out of all of these draftable players that I would trade up for. These quarterbacks are meh to me. The defenders are meh. The cornerbacks are second round guys, and to me, the defensive tackles have some upside, but none of them are finished polished. They all gonna come in as rotational guys, two down players.
I think
It's,
Caleb Banks can come in and just. I like that guy, man.
I like
Caleb
his size and ability, but he's not a three down player. And coming to our team,
Nick don't have a 3 down player on his roster that he that's not I mean not Nick D'Amico doesn't he doesn't use even if he had one I don't think he'll use him as a 3 down player.
right? Well, I agree that that is quite a luxury, and we don't have that luxury on defense. We got enough on defense. We got to be adding some talent on the other side.
You don't have enough on defense at the moment. You have a lot of holes over there that will be addressed within free agency and draft.
We do not have not one single hole on defense.
If only we had enough time.
Just give me one. What hole are you talking about?
D tackle. Who's there right now?
You got Tommy T and Rakers is going to be signed back.
As of right now, you only have maybe 2 people under contract that I can think of off the top, which is Tommy T. I'm not sure if Kurt Heine is under contract or not.
No, Heinrich ain't coming back.
Well, I'm saying who's under contract.
We can put Cal at DT on that D line right now and be okay. We don't have any glaring holes.
Yeah, you're gonna get killer knees already bad, man.
We can feel that. We can feel that with our coaching staff. Rod Wright and Ocam can play that lineman if we needed to.
God,
but offensively, we are glaring needs.
I'm gonna say this before we get up out of here, man. We already about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
As much as I like Love, I've been watching him the past 2 years. I wouldn't mind having him or adding him to the team, but I'm fine with Nick staying at 28 and picking at 28. But whoever that player is has to be worth that first round pick. Nick likes to trade back, and I feel like for the simple fact that it saves you money later on down the line. Because that first round ticket is that first round ticket, period. So, and we know Nick is a master of cap space and creating cap, signing guys and things of that nature. So, I look for that first round pick, man, to be an offensive player, either primarily guard. If it's not a guard, it will be a D tackle. So keep that simple. But
I agree.
in closing, man, you guys want to add anything before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I got some combine darlings that I wanted to say. We talked a lot about Sadiq, who impressed me with his workout. I've been watching the combine for a long time, and ever since Mike Mamula stole the show back in whatever year that was in the mid '90s, the combine has been such an attraction as a fan. But players like Low Styles Jr., who Patton has been up on for a couple years. His combine workout was tremendous. Um, who else? We had one other player that I was high on. Um, Cooper from Indiana had a good combine, in my opinion. He's built quite like Stephon Diggs and got a lot of athleticism. Um,
Yeah.
I also was really high on safety group. The safety out of LSU looks the part to be a strong safety, but that would be a high draft pick. And I really don't know if we need to allocate that kind of draft pick on a safety that high.
No.
But those are some of my draft crush at this
The only
point.
safety that's going to be a top 5 pick is Caleb Downs.
Yeah. Oh, interestingly, did you all know that Caleb Downs is Josh Downs' brother?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that until they talked about it on the combine.
Yeah, I learned about it throughout during college season. They're really competitive with one another. He wants to get in the same division so they can play each other twice a year, so he can hit them finally.
Hmm.
Yeah, but Kill, anything you want to add before we get up out of here, brother?
My closing thoughts is, man, a lot of people was getting excited about informal interviews and formal interviews and no interviews. Tell you something about the Texans, man. uh the what you need to really be worried about, and you don't find this out through our organization until the plane is leaving Bush. I hate calling it Bush. It's Intercontinental Airport to me, still always. So Intercontinental Airport.
And
Uh,
outside airport.
when they're leaving after, because you got to look at the 30. Like, it's a lot of players that didn't even get formal or informal interviews. The ones that didn't get them, watch the favorites that the fans wanted. Watch they be part of that top 30 that the Texans bring in, and you don't find it out through John Alexander until the plane is leaving Houston. You never find out. And see, Mark Berman. Shout out to Mark Berman. Mark Berman used to be at the airport. Like, I think he used to sleep at the airport, and he would get those guys coming in. But he was an ultimate insider. That that's what you look at, the 30 that they're going to bring in.
The
You
real
know,
OG.
so
And this media shit.
yeah. So and also my draft board. I have to wait until everybody stop guessing, and then you're gonna have that one or two national guys that's gonna pop out with their mock draft after the combine, and then everybody else is gonna start like following lead with whatever somebody else said. So that's why I didn't even really look off into. I watched a little film, but I really didn't like dive deep. I just wanted to see after the combine. So. But other than that, man, that's all I have.
I would say this. We're, you know, self-proclaimed draft guard myself. I have my board together. I've been had it together. I stopped watching the combine because that's just guys in shorts running up and down the street, up and down the field. The real deal is the film. You can go to the combine and be a workout warrior. And there's a lot of workout warriors. Every year there's workout warriors. You know, these guys shoot up the board and respectfully so, you know what I'm saying? Give an opportunity to shine and show what you can do, earn yourself some money. But I'm drafting a guy based off what you can do on the field, what the film shows me, and how can I incorporate you in what I'm doing. So when I do release my board, it's going to be predicated on film work only, no combine. But with that being said, man, look here, early bird got to get the worm. So we finna get up out of here, man. Before we go, do our quick little shout outs, man. Let's see. As always, man, Brandon was in the building. Shout out to you, Space Age. Thank you for coming through, good brother. Cash Style Food. Appreciate you.
Oh, Cash Style was in here. Okay, that's what's up.
Finally came back home, man. My mom, she popped up. Appreciate you. Let's see. Haven't seen Mellow Mike, man. Gotta reach out to the brother.
Oh man, Cash Style had a good point when we was talking tight ends.
Yeah,
Harold Fanning Jr. is the future, so Cleveland won't.
I didn't want to cut you off. You know, you was on the rant, but yeah, Cleveland does have Harold, so it is likely that Sadiq could fall to us.
Okay,
and then on top of that, I was telling the other day that Dallas surprised everybody last year by taking Booker. Cleveland may take the best lineman available because they need offensive linemen more than anybody in the league. They lost their whole offensive line.
Yeah, great point. They let them all walk.
Yeah, so I mean that I can see off the rip, their first pick is going to be all line.
Finish with
they got 2-1s.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't pick 2 offensive linemen, the best at that point. But
go ahead and finish with the bull ring. We can finish that up too. Who else you got?
Kevin Princeton, 33-22. Gary the Snell, 65. And a couple of newcomers. I believe they were just hinting on what Doc was saying earlier in the beginning about what's going on overseas. So don't really want to turn a sports podcast into a politics podcast, but I appreciate y'all coming through. Anything else before I hit this damn end stream? But
nah, that's it for me, man. Great show as usual. Doc talking about thanks for having me on, bruh.
And Doc do this shit every day, every time.
Bro, you talk. It's almost like when you walk in the house and you just automatically take off your shoes. Like, bro, stop acting like you a guest here, man.
Hey, I'm just giving respect. You gotta give it to get respect.
Hey, that's what's up. We enjoy having you here, bro. I'll tell you that.
Hey, I guess we the Ghetto Boys and Dr. J. Prince, man.
Peace around the world, man.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man. On that note.
Yeah, man, and keep our other co-host Nitty, man, and his family in y'all prayers, man.
Yes.
All right, good people, man, and we out. Catch y'all Tuesday. No, I'm sorry, Wednesday.
Gonna be Wednesday, yes.
Yeah, Wednesday, man. Let's say Wednesday 7:30, man. Get a guy time to get home, get acclimated before we get y'all this good old news. Got to give y'all.
Oh, that's what's up.
All right, man. Texas on 3, man. We out.